everyone, my name is Mohar Basu, and today I'm answering questions for BookWagon. So the first question that they've asked me is, what's the most surprising thing you discovered about SRK or Salman? I think the my favorite story from Shah Rukh Khan, the legendary icon star, is the story of a fan who was trying to chase Shah Rukh down an airport while Shah Rukh was trying to catch a flight to go to Delhi in the middle of a personal crisis. When the fan finally gets to Shah Rukh, he says, "Oh my God, Akshay Kumar, I love you so much." And Shah Rukh Khan, being Shah Rukh Khan, was very, very surprised, but he still signed an autograph saying with love from Akshay Kumar. And this is in the midst of something very personal that he was going through. And people who have the ability to be kind even at their lowest, I think that's a very, very terrific quality in a person. My favorite story from my new book, Salman Khan, the Sultan of Bollywood, is this story that Shilpa Shetty, narrates. So Shilpa Shetty had spoken about how, they were not getting anyone to play the guy who gets AIDS in Fir Milenge. And she was shooting for a film with Salman, and Salman heard the story, and he's like, "ठीक है ना, मैं करूँगा, I'll do it." Just like that. Like he didn't even charge for the film, and he has this guy who's this personality. He's India's most macho guy, but he had no qualms putting his weight behind a film of that nature and playing a character who openly gets AIDS. And this is way before Honor made, about a year before Honor made My Brother Nikhil. So the awareness around such a subject was it was very little. But he did it for the love for Shilpa, for the love for Revati, who was his co star before and was directing the film. So I just thought that this is such a terrific quality in a superstar who's known for his macho-ness, but he doesn't care. The real macho is the guy who'll show up. And he just made it so simple. So I think these two are my favorite stories from these two books. Who was harder to decode, SRK or Salman? Uh, I think Salman was a bigger challenge than SRK because SRK he's someone who's been very cozy with the press. So there's a lot of interviews, there's a lot of archival material. There's a lot to read up on from the 90s, from when they were younger, when they were stepping into the industry, stories from their collaborators. It was much easier to get material on. And he's a story that we've heard a lot, and we retell the story. It's like folklore. We retell the story with a lot of love. Every parent must have told this child when at least my generation was growing up that, yeah, Shah Rukh Khan ki tarah madad karo logo ki, uski tarah mehnat karo. You will rise in life. I think Salman's is a little underrated a story. It's the story of a very strangely an underdog. It was harder to decode because there are long spells when he's not spoken to the press at all, when he's had like a chattis with the press, and he's just not had a conversation with them at all. So there are these long gaps where you have no archival material to kind of fall back on. So it was a much bigger challenge to decode what he was going through in those years. Who was he? What was the person that he was? And I'm guessing he's someone who's very transparent. So in the later interviews, those come out. But in those couple of years between 97 to 2004, 5, I think the interviews are far fewer. So it's very hard to kind of decode what was going on with him and what was he feeling at that point of time. Um, the third question is, which myth about them turned out to be false? Very strangely, none of the myths that I've heard about them is false at all. I think they are these people that they are showing to be. They are these true blue superstars. They are these kind, good, nice human beings. And there is a reason why superstars of their generation have persevered, because I think they were very authentic and very transparent people. They're not pretending to be someone else. Shah Rukh Khan is not pretending to be someone else. Salman Khan is definitely not pretending to be someone else. So I just feel that they are very authentic, and none of the myths that are being discussed about them in public are false. It's all factually there. Salman Khan is the Bhaijan. Shah Rukh Khan is that king who will, there's this very famous story about Shah Rukh that if you go to his house, he'll walk you to the gate and say bye to you, and he'll open the door of the car and say bye to you there. So I think all of these stories that we've heard about them are 95% correct. What is the true X factor that keeps them relevant? Authenticity. You cannot base, you cannot pretend for 30 years at a stretch. So I think the only thing that's keeping both of these really big superstars of our country going is the fact that they are authentic people. And I think as my generation is aging, we're seeing value in that, because so much of stardom today is manufactured. And actually, in Salman's book, I do go on to discuss about how PR manufactured stardom has become. And then I obviously go on to discuss about how, that there's a certain loyal base for a Salman Khan, because, you know, there's a very famous Karan Johar line that अगर आपको एक बहुत हिट फिल्म बनानी हो, you need good performances, you need a good script, a good crew, a good director, और अगर आपके पास इनमें से कुछ भी ना हो तो you need Salman Khan. So I think that loyal fan base comes from the fact that their stardom is very, very authentic, and that's their X factor. That's what it's just gonna keep them going for as long as they are in the movie business, and these are people who are gonna work till the last day of their lives. So be it. Inshallah, they're gonna make many, many more hit films. Which chapter was the toughest for you to write emotionally? Okay, for the two books, they're two different chapters. For Shah Rukh's book, I think the toughest chapter to write was the chapter where we talk about how everyone loves him, because a lot of it is similar, but the sameness is also the magnitude of love that Shah Rukh gets. How he's, to get people for that chapter was very difficult for me, because it's just so hard uh, to, get people to say different things. But, over 6 8 months, I did find people, housewives who said that, he's this benchmark for me when it comes to a romantic relationship, and he's set the standard so high that I want to raise my standards for my partner. I don't want to settle for just the ordinary and the mundane. I thought that was very interesting, and I think that was the most challenging chapter to write. In Salman's book, I think the most challenging chapter to write was the part where I talk about Being Human Foundation, because there's so much work that Being Human Foundation does, and there's so much to the legacy of Salman Khan that you cannot shorten it, you cannot make it crisp, you cannot underdo it. You have to do the right amount of service to this chapter about being human. The amount of work that they do is phenomenal, and I think that was the toughest chapter to write, because it's also about the legacy of Salman Khan. I go on to say that Shah Rukh Khan will always be known as the romantic king, and Amitabh Bachchan as the angry young man, and Dilip Kumar as the thinking man, someone who's very subtle, his craft was subtle. But Salman Khan is the only superstar of India who will be remembered for the person that he is, and not for the star that he is, and not for the movies that he's making. His movies are secondary, it's his philanthropic work that's primary to him. And I think that's going to be his legacy. Um, I think these were the questions. Thank you so much, everyone, for watching this video. And my new book, Salman Khan, the Sultan of Bollywood, is available on BookWagon. So please pick it up. And I'm looking forward to a lot of feedback from all of you. I hope you like it. Happy reading. Please read more this year, and a very happy new year.